Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Greatest Book Never Published, the podcast where we read the greatest book never published. I am Nim.
I'm Nate the Great.
And I'm Steve.
And so in this podcast, we are reading a book that I wrote when I was about 13 years old, and it's a good time. So if you haven't listened to the previous episodes, go back and do that first before you listen to this one, or you will be lost and you won't know what's going on. So anyways, let's jump right into it. Where did we last leave off? Where are we at, guys?
So Nate was talking to Abigail on a pier, and then some bad guys were looking for him.
Yep.
And then
Zach and Jameson are both captured.
Yeah.
And being tortured or whatever.
Yeah.
By
they're being
a German guy.
By Dr. Ulrich.
Who's trying to take their power.
Yeah.
By a German doctor.
And then Steve is at a football game, and he overheard some people talking about Snake in a cleaning closet or something like that.
By the way, like, I have to say, like, the cliche that I went with, like, I feel like evil scientists are always German. Is that like I don't know, isn't that like a cliche? Like, evil doctors are always German.
Should have named him,
I went with it.
Oh, what's his name?
Which one?
Richtofen.
Richtofen.
Oh, yeah, from Call of Duty.
Yeah, from Call of Duty.
Yeah.
German name.
Yeah, so that's about where we are. We also found out that apparently Lee is planning on kind of double-crossing Crape at one point. Like, he's just kind of using him. Like, he's pretending that he's working for Crape, but really...
for the cause is what it seems like. In that.
He's working for the cause of communism, but really he's going to try to take over and rule the... He doesn't care about communism. He just wants to rule the world himself. So there might be some conflict
between... the world in his image or something like that.
Right. So there might be some conflict between our two main villains.
Oh, yeah.
Which could be interesting to see what happens with that.
Yep.
So anyways, without any further ado, let's jump into it to find out what happens next. So Chapter 57 is where we're starting today, and that is from the perspective of Nathan Thompson. Abigail and I run to the end of the dock, hiding behind a speedboat. I peek over the edge and see the men walking down the dock we are on. They're coming this way, I whisper. Oh, they're coming this way, I whisper. We've got to get out of here. There's nowhere to go, Abigail says. Yeah, there is. Do you know how to swim? Well, no.
Why don't they just take the speedboat?
They're not going to steal somebody's speedboat? That's rude. Jeez.
Gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Yeah, well, no. I've just never learned how. Follow me. I jump into the boat. What are you doing? Saving our butts. Come on.
Wait, how did she train with
The
Shadow people, whatever their names are? Shadow. Train with Shadow for 6 months and doesn't know how to swim.
Well, no, she said she hasn't finished the 6-month training yet.
Yeah, but how do you not know how to swim?
A lot of people don't know how to swim. I don't know. I guess she didn't get to the swimming training day yet. No, she didn't get to that part of the shadow training.
All right. Anyway,
Abigail climbs into the boat with me. We duck down, hoping that they didn't see us. I think I saw them climb into that boat, I hear one of the men say. Oh, I think I saw them climb into that boat, I hear one of the men say. Do you think these men are the same men from earlier?
that'd be pretty great if they were.
Derek and... What was it? Oh, man. It was like Frank and Derek.
Frank and Derek.
Yeah, do you think this is Frank and Derek? I just imagine anytime there's like two henchmen,
It's always the same two.
it's always Frank and Derek.
Man, why do we get stuck doing all the work?
They were the two cops, the good cop, bad cop kind of, or no, the rookie and the old guy. And then they were the guys at the explosion place. And then,
Yeah.
Hey, one of the men says as he sees the boat leaving. They're getting away. Oh, wait. I must have skipped something. Because I didn't. I crawl over toward... I think I saw them climb into that boat, I hear one of the men say. Let's go, the other one says. I crawl over toward the controls of the boat. I look and notice that the key is still in the ignition.
Oh, how convenient.
I turn the key and then begin driving the boat away. Hey, one of the men says as he sees the boat leaving. They're getting away. Don't worry, the other one says. I've got him. He pulls out a grenade out of his pocket, pulls the pin and throws it. It lands on the boat. As quickly as possible, I run over, shove Abigail into the water, then jump off. Just as I hit the water, the grenade explodes. I am now submerged under the water. I open my eyes as I feel the salt water stinging them. I see Abigail sinking because of the heavy equipment she is wearing, though my vision is blurred. I begin swimming as fast as I possibly can after Abigail. My arms and legs are moving.
He's gonna give her CPR.
Ooh, I bet he is. Mouth to mouth. My arms and legs are moving faster than they've ever moved underwater before. I dread the thought of losing her. She is my best friend in New York. I must save her. I now feel myself losing breath. I won't last much longer without air. My ears are also in a lot of pain. I'll probably end up having a really bad ear infection after this. If I make it out alive. I keep swimming. Every second I get a little closer, but Abigail keeps sinking like a rock. I am now feeling like I can't possibly go any longer. What now? I don't have much energy left. She's too far. I can't go any longer. But I must. I need to save her. Please, God, give me the strength. Give me the power to save her. I need your help. I noticed that she is not sinking anymore. She has actually started to slowly float up. Not only is she floating up, she's floating toward me. As if our friendship is so strong, nothing can keep us apart.
How cliche. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. This is a Hallmark movie now?
Man. Yeah, I guess we're having a lot of corn for dinner.
Yep.
That's it. Yeah, wow.
Wow.
Anyway.
It's a miracle. Thank you, God. She then begins moving even faster. It doesn't take long until she is right next to me. I grab onto her and start paddling up. My legs are so tired that I don't think I'll make it, but I keep paddling anyway. Then we finally come to the top. I take a huge gasp of air. I then swim to the dock. I'm so glad that Abigail is not a very heavy person. That would make this a whole lot more difficult. I lift Abigail up onto the dock, then climb up myself. I look around to see that the men have left. I'm guessing they thought we died in the explosion.
How long were they under?
Apparently a while.
Could have been like a minute.
Long enough for them.
Left that fast?
I guess.
Well, I guess the cops probably are gonna get called.
To be honest, it's Frank and Derek. They kind of suck.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't caught these kids yet, so.
Yeah, Frank and Derek are just idiots.
Yeah.
At least we're assuming they're Frank and Derek.
Yeah.
I'd like to assume they are. I'm guessing they thought we died in the explosion. I look down at Abigail, who's lying on the dock, breathless. I then try to remember what I learned in my CPR class. Oh boy. I put my hands to her chest and start pushing. After about a minute, I realize that it's not working.
Stay alive.
Oh, that part's not working. What's he gonna do next? Oh, mouth to mouth.
Oh.
Now I'll have to. It even says now I'll have to do mouth to mouth. Oh my gosh. I plug her nose with my fingers, then put my mouth up to hers. I begin blowing. 10 seconds later, she spits water out of her mouth and starts choking. I am relieved to see that she is okay. How are you feeling? I ask. Okay, I guess, she says between coughs. Let's agree to never do that again. I nod my head as she stands up and
no
we
kissing.
walk.
Ever good.
What?
Said, yep, no kissing, ever good.
No, yeah, that's what she was.
That's what she meant.
Yeah, because mouth to mouth is the same as kissing.
Basically.
You know, giving somebody mouth to mouth is like just as nice and romantic as kissing. You know, not like I'm trying to save your life blowing air into your lungs. No. Mm-hmm. 10 seconds later, she spits water out of her. Okay. Let's agree to never do that again. I nod my head as she stands up and we walk away. I still wonder how she started floating toward me. Do I have another power? Or was it just by chance? I may never know.
Oh, right. Doesn't he have telekinesis?
No. What?
Oh.
Psst, psst, psst. He doesn't have another superpower. Might be a hint towards something. I don't know. Anyways, interesting. So Nate got to kiss Abigail, even if it's not, actually a kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Frank and Derek are idiots as usual, and yeah, nice chapter.
And they got away again somehow.
Chapter 58. Stephen Richards. It starts with, I then pull some of the shelves off the wall as if it was like in the middle of a chapter. It's just weird how it starts. I then pull some of the shelves off of the wall. I pull out one of the knives from my belt and peel some of the paint away from the wall. A few minutes later, I realize that there's a door here. I find the handle. It's locked. I pull out one of the coins. I lick it, which causes it to become sticky. Then I stick it to the door handle. I press down on the head of the coin and step back. The coin explodes and the door is open.
Hopefully you don't accidentally push that in your pocket.
Yeah. Well, I think you have to lick it to activate. Maybe you have to lick it to activate it.
What if it just gets wet?
Yeah, it's like, it turns out to be a rainy day, and it's like
he bumps it.
Water in your pocket, and you bump it. Boom! Ah! My pants blew off. The two men on the other. The two men on the other side see me and begin firing their handguns at me. I put my hand down and the bullets hit my bulletproof hat. I put my head down.
I feel like that still wouldn't feel very good.
It's like just like shot.
Ow!
Hit my bulletproof hat. I run in as fast as I can, disarming both of the men. I have a question for you, I say just after I stop running. Where are my friends? It takes a few seconds for them to realize what had just happened. Do you think these two guys are Frank and Derek too?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah, probably.
Could be.
I mean,
because who's saying that like what happened to Nate is happening at the exact same time?
Well, there's already other points in the book that prove that the chapters aren't happening simultaneously.
Mm-hmm. They're not always, so
not
it
always,
could be.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna say yes. It's two men who are guards who are working for the bad guys. So it must be Frank and Derek.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have a question for you. Where are my friends? It takes a few seconds for them to realize what had just happened. They're in the prison blocks, one of the men says. Down the left hallway. All the way to the end, to the right. Thank you very much, I say as I zoom
just
by.
Gave up all the information without even, you didn't even, threaten them or anything.
Okay, it is Frank and Derek.
True.
Remember,
I mean, they are,
Frank and
major
Derek
screw-ups.
Are just idiots. Okay?
Definitely need to write a book about Frank and Derek.
Dude,
The book is the same timeline as this book, but it's
from Frank and Derek's perspective.
Yeah, Frank and Derek's point of view the whole time.
They're like, oh, we just got reassigned to.
They keep getting reassigned everywhere because they're so bad at their job.
Just got reassigned to pretending to be cops for a little bit. Oh, we got yeah. Thank you so much, I say as I zoom by, knocking them both out. I see that there are two hallways, one on the left and one on the right. I run as fast as I can down the left. Once I get to the end, I turn right and see a door. I use another coin to open it. I walk in and see Zach and Jameson sitting on the floor. You came back, Zach says excitedly. I thought you'd left for good. How did you find us? I had a little help from Adam Fox, I say. Didn't we say not to trust him? Jameson says. Yeah, I say. But I found out that he really is on our side and that Shadow is real. Your dad is their top scientist, and they need him back. By the way, Jameson says, I figured out what SIB stands for. Super Infection Bomb. Then we've got to get out of here as fast as possible and stop the SIB, Zach says. Wait, Jameson says. The reason they kept us here was so that they could steal our power and use it against us. We have to figure out a way to destroy their research. We could figure out a way to blow the place up, Zach says. No, I say. This place is hidden underneath the MetLife football stadium. They're in the middle of a game right now. If we blow it up, we'll kill thousands of innocent people. I have an idea, Jameson says. We need to get to the research lab. I could possibly find a way to destroy their research. Let's go, I say as we walk out of the prison cell. Okay, so he already got Zach and Jameson out. That was pretty easy.
Yeah, he's just he bursts in the door, takes down two guys, and he's like, "Hey, where are they at? Oh, they're in the cell at the end of the hallway."
Okay.
Yeah, it's well, again.
Why are they in the same cell?
I don't know. I guess he threw them into the same cell after he tortured them for a bit.
Not very smart, right? I'll just put the prisoners together. It definitely won't help them escape at all.
Yeah, well, that's what happened. So, anyways, next is chapter 59. Zach Thompson. We are running through the halls of Snake's underground base, looking for the research lab. We come out into a large opening where we see 10 gunmen talking to each other. "Shoot 'em!" one of the men says once he notices we're here.
Shoot 'em.
All 10 of them open fire on us. I let the bullets phase through me as I walk up to one of the men and slam him to the ground with my solid fist. Steve zooms by, knocking out 7 of them in 2 seconds flat. Jameson slams the last 2 men's heads together.
Zach's like, I'm the superior one here. I did all the work.
Well, really, Jameson actually Steve took out more than the rest of them. Steve took out.
Oh, that's what I meant, Steve.
Yeah. "Where's the lab?" I yelled to the only man who still has a little bit of consciousness. "What lab?" he says. "I have no idea what you're talking about." "The lab where they're doing all their research," Jameson says. "Where they are trying to figure out a way to duplicate our powers." I still have no idea what you're talking about. This guy's definitely not Frank or Derek.
Yeah.
He didn't just give up the information in the first 2 seconds.
Yeah, I know. "Rip his arms off, Crusher," I say to Jameson. Jameson walks up to him and grabs him by the arms. Wait! The man yells as Jameson lets go. I think I'm starting to remember what you're talking about now."
You think?
"Go on," I say. "The lab is at the end of that hall," he says, pointing to one of the 8 hallways this room is attached to. "Just at the end of there is a door." "How do we get in this door?" "I can't tell you that," he says. "Okay, fine," I say. "I'm sure Crusher would love to turn your head into mush." Wow. Turn your head into mush. "Okay," he says. "All you need is an access card. Do you have one?" I say. "Nope," he says. "Sonic, search it," I say. Within 5 seconds, Steve searches the man and finds a card. "What a big surprise," I say sarcastically. "You have an access card. Knock him out, Crusher." Jameson slams him with his fist, knocking him out. "You know what?" I say. "We make a pretty good team."
Mm-hmm.
I also think we need new names. Something more original. What do you guys think? "I think you should call me Sonic Boom," Steve says. So I think these are their official superhero names. Finally. So we got Sonic Boom. Fitting, I say. What about you, Jameson? "I will be known as Hard Crusher."
I crush things hard.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's a... I've been waiting for that because I knew that was in there. And I was like, I'm waiting for that name. It's hilarious.
Hard Crusher.
Hard Crusher. Jameson says as he cracks his knuckles. "Sounds good," I say. I have given this a lot of thought and have finally decided on the name Molecule.
Huh, I wonder why.
What a boring name compared to the other two.
I know, right?
Sonic Boom, Hard Crusher, Molecule.
Sounds like a nerd.
My power revolves around my molecular structure. At least that's what Jameson said. It's like he's pretending that he doesn't know anything about it. I'm not a nerd. I'm not the nerd. It's just what Jameson said. He's the nerd, not me. Exactly, Jameson says. "I'm surprised that you actually paid attention when I told you all the scientific facts about your powers." I mean, I tried to pay attention when reading it, and it still didn't make sense, but... "I'm smarter than I look," I say. "The Hooded 3, Molecule, Hard Crusher, and Sonic Boom. I like it. Now let's go to that lab." End of chapter. There we go. I'm happy about that. We finally officially have our superhero names. It's great. The Hooded 3. That's actually much more. Yeah, that's much more what it deserves. Horde Crusher. Sonic Boom isn't bad.
No.
Hard Crusher is...
It's a good thing you didn't just call him Sonic.
well, yeah, obviously. Molecule is just kind of like, eh. Well, I think Molecule, I was going off of, like, the fact that there's a superhero named Atom. I think I was going off of that. I was kind of doing that kind of thing. Instead of Atom, it was a Molecule. Except Atom is a better name than Molecule. Just sounds better. But, whatever. Mm-hmm. Anyways, one more chapter for the day. Chapter 60. Jameson Thompson. We have just gotten to the end of the hallway where there is a door which apparently leads to the lab. I am holding a card that is supposed to open the door. There's only one way to find out. I swipe the card. The door opens. On the other side, there is a large room with all kinds of lab equipment. We see Dr. Ulrich standing there in his white and orange clothes, doing some kind of research. So nice of you to join me, he says to us without looking away from his research. I was just studying your DNA, Zach. It is quite fascinating to see how your power works. It doesn't make sense to me, but it's fascinating. How you completely change your molecular structure. He nods his head. Yes, quite fascinating indeed. He turns around, holding a small gun in his hand. Do you want to know what happens when I shoot you with this? What? Zach says. It disrupts your molecular structure, causing your power to stop working, and then your whole body will begin to fall apart. I have created it based on the DNA samples I took. Wow, he works fast. He already created anti...
Also, you don't know how long they were in there compared to when Steve was, there.
I guess, but still. It doesn't only work on you, it works on anyone who has the infection inside of them. I wouldn't try to run if I were you, Stephen. The ground is set to explode if anyone runs any faster than 15 miles per hour.
What kind of technology?
Holy crap.
What in the world?
It's way better than the CIA technology.
The 1911 that's accurate at 75 yards.
That's their best technology, but this is the bad guy's best technology. And Zach, don't even think about phasing through the floor or any of the walls. If you do, you will experience the same amount of shock as you would if you were in an electric chair.
Oh my.
Jeez. I have done all I can to make it impossible for you to stop
if
me.
If he's a gas, how can he get zapped? Or if he just turns into plasma, he can't get zapped either.
He probably just shoot him with the frickin' thing. I don't know. There's only one
Turn
more
into a laser
thing.
Pew pew.
There's only one more thing I need before I escape. And what might that be? I say, already knowing the answer. The third of the Hooded Three, the only DNA I need to finish my research. You are the only 3 human beings who have ever been exposed to the infection, as far as we know. Oh, nobody knows that Nate has powers. Having a blood sample from all 3 of you will prove to be quite useful. A BAM, oh yeah, that's right, that's the name of the robots, isn't it? A BAM suddenly comes up behind Steve and jabs him with a needle, taking a blood sample. Wow, good job paying attention to your surroundings, Steve. Just let a freaking robot come and jab you.
A BAM.
Bam!
Yeah, BAM.
Bam! Gotcha!
BAM! Gotcha. Just as I slam it with my fist, the BAM throws the blood sample to Ulrich. Until we meet again, Ulrich says as he grabs the blood sample. He runs out of the room. Let's go, Zach says as we head towards the door. Just as we are about to leave, the doorway bursts into flames. Now what? Dude, this guy's the thought of everything.
Hey, he's a smart guy, I guess. Guess
Now
you gotta go
what?
with the German scientists. They know how to do stuff.
Yeah, I know. We're German scientists working for a Russian company. Now what? Steve says. We're trapped in here. Run after him, Steve, Zach says. You're fast enough to run through the fire without getting burnt. But the floor will explode, Steve says. I'll be fast enough to get away, but you guys will be stuck in the explosion. Zach is right, I say. It's the best way. With our powers, we may have a chance of surviving. The whole room is on fire now, and part of the floor has collapsed. Go! Steve nods his head, then zooms away. The room then explodes. Then all I see is darkness. I have no idea whether I am alive or dead.
again?
This is getting old.
Dead or alive.
This is getting old. Oh my gosh. So yeah, that's the end of this week. And wow, what
Cliffhanger
What an exciting. Wow.
just
Is he alive or is he dead? I'm pretty sure the fact that he's thinking that in the chapter, that means he's still alive because,
well,
if he can think, then he's not dead.
if the main characters literally died like that would be pretty terrible, actually.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
like,
obviously,
you're kind of like, okay, he's probably
obviously
not
none
dead.
of the main characters are going to die in this, but
Yeah, how do you know?
I'm pretty certain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Me too. All right.
I
Anyways,
hope you're certain you wrote the book.
I am certain. Anyways, that's about all. So, yeah, we're getting some interesting stuff. Still in their DNA. Who knows what it'll do with that? I mean, it could be a setup for like a future book that I never wrote, but who knows? Anyways, thank you all for listening. If you want to listen to more, there will be a new episode next week on Thursday at noon Eastern Standard Time. And that's when every new episode is uploaded. And you can listen to it on a few different platforms. You can listen to it on my YouTube channel, which is called NimTV. There should be a link in the description to that. If you already are listening to it there, you can find a link in the description to the Spotify version of the podcast. So you can check it out on Spotify if you want to instead. And you can also check out Nathan's YouTube channel, which is Nate the Great. There's a link in the description to that as well. If you like the podcast, give us a 5-star rating on Spotify. Really appreciate it. And yeah, that's about all. So thank you all for listening this week. I'm Nim.
I am Nate the Great.
And I'm Steve.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.